Okay, last video for the topics for today. This covers question 19, and the topic is, I don't know exactly what it's called in ALEKS, but it deals with, well, if you look at it, scatter plots that already have lines of fit put in them, and then how do you deal with that? What do you actually do with that line of fit? So what we're going to do is we're going to read this and we're going to go through the problem. So we've got a scatter plot that shows the theater revenue, in other words, how much money it brought in, and rental revenue for each of 21 movies. All right. Also showing us a line of best fit for the data. So in other words, there's 21 movies, and they're showing how much theater revenue that movie brought in other words, how many people went to see it in the theater, and then also how rentals went, right? And this is, this is kind of applicable in today's day and age. Rentals are different now. They're digital, but they're still rentals. All right, so it says we've got this line of best fit that they drew for the problem, right? And you can see it kind of fits in with how we want a line of best fit to look, where it sort of splits the data in half. There's a couple that are actually on the line, and then a bunch that are on either side of it. So let's just look at the questions and see what it's asking us to do. So the first one it says is, for these 21 movies, as theater revenue increases, so as your X gets larger, because your theater revenue is X, your rental is Y. Rental revenue tends to, well, look at it. If you look at the line, as you go from left to right and your X gets bigger, your Y also gets bigger. So that would mean that the rental revenue is increasing, right? It's getting larger. You have a positive slope. Then it says, for these 21 movies, there is blank correlation between theater revenue and rental revenue. So what that means is when you have an increase, in other words, when the line goes up from left to right, that's always a positive correlation. And when it goes down, it's a negative correlation. And if it's either a flat line or it's a total like crazy scatter plot where you can't draw any kind of a line of fit, then that would be no correlation. All right, so this one is a positive because you have a line with a positive slope, right? If you had a line with a negative slope, you would have a negative correlation. And then for C, it says using the line of best fit. In other words, looking at this line that they have, that's the dark blue line that goes through all the X's, we would predict that a movie generating a theater revenue of $40 million would generate a rental revenue. So what you do is you go to 40 on the X-axis, so it's 4 over, and sorry you can't actually physically see my pen as I do this, but you go to 40 and then you go up until you hit the line. You don't go to the point that they have on there because that's not actually on the line. You go up to the line, and you can see that 40 hits the line a little above 8. So it looks like it's between 8 and 9. So let's see what options they give us. So, wrong one. All right. So 5.7 would be too low. 7.3 would still be too low because we know it's over 8. 10.6 and 11.7 are too high. It's got to be this 8.4 million. All right. Good. Let's do one more. See if we get one. All right. So this one, all right. Years of experience for a cashier is on the bottom, right? And then the hourly pay rate for the cashiers, and this is in Arizona, is on the left. That's your y-axis, right? So that's your up and down. So it says for these 24 cashiers, as experience increases, pay tends to, well, look at your line of best fit and kind of look at the way the graph trends. And for the most part, the more you work, the more you earn, right? So that would be an increase. And then also would be, because it is a positive slope, if you look at your line, that would be a positive correlation, right? And then if we use this line, find where 7 years of experience is, and then go up to the line. So 7 years is about halfway down the x-axis. Go up till you hit the blue line, and it's right around 14, right? Maybe a smidge above. So we would predict that a cashier with 7 years of experience would make approximately, and the one that's closest to 14 is this $14.1 per hour. let's try one more and see if they give us one with a slope. Oh, here we go. This is what I was hoping. So this one, same deal. The only difference is now the line is going down from left to right. So right away, we know that that means that we have a negative correlation, right? So let's go to letter B and let's go negative correlation. And then what that means is as the weight in pounds of this vehicle goes up, your fuel efficiency goes down, right? Which means in math words, it decreases, right? So not too bad. And then using the line of best fit, we would predict that a vehicle weighing 3,000 pounds. So find where 3,000 pounds is. That's the third option on the x-axis from the left. And it looks like it's between 25 and 30. So I don't know if they have an option that's like 28. That would be really close. And they have one that is 28. And so we'll select that one. And we'll go check. And that is how you do these. So pretty straightforward. Just kind of, making sure you're just understanding, a couple concepts. So good luck with these.